Just like you, I like to spend my free time scrolling through Zillow, looking at houses that I cannot afford for hours on end. And I occasionally come across some pretty unhinged homes. Just like this property in Las Vegas, Nevada called Paradise Crest Manor, which according to Google is a historical landmark. And Paradise Crest Manor offers a lot of interesting things. First off, you're greeted by a collection of statues so strange it feels like Night at the Museum had a Vegas spin-off. There's a dinosaur, Beetlejuice, a minion, and my personal favorite, a giant hot dog. But step inside and the furniture goes full dark gothic with cute Barbie pink walls. But wait, it gets even weirder because there's an unfinished room that features the Taj Mahal surrounded by a bunch of Egyptian wall carvings. Now, I don't know if this is a home or a rejected Disney exhibit, but surprisingly, the most normal room in this house has a Home Depot bucket in it. That's it. That's the baseline of sanity here. Now, here's where I start losing it a bit, because this house has a second kitchen with bright blue walls, a random washing machine, and what the heck is that? Sorry kids, that's Vegas for you. Back to the house itself, the architecture is a blend of Mayan and Egyptian styles because obviously that makes sense. It's like the History Channel threw up all over the exterior. But the weirdest thing about this house isn't the statues, or the dragon, or even the Nicolas Cage pillow. It's the weird looking chamber that has these Egyptian drawings inside of it. Like, what are you even using this for? But if you love Barbie and Tim Burton, this house will only cost you about $2.5 million. Now we're going to look at far more weirder homes in this video, but since we're speaking of Barbie, welcome to Woodbine, New Jersey, where for $480,000 you could have owned this aggressively pink house. Step inside and yeah, the Barbie dream ends real quick. It's giving 1700s farmhouse vibes, and I half expected George Washington to be sipping tea in the living room. Everything's antique, furniture, paintings, probably even the air. That is, until you hit this bedroom where there's a tiny flat screen shoved inside the corner. I guess George Washington couldn't miss Love Island. The inside is old and the outside is just straight, full pink, front and back, all sides. Like Barbie's house married a colonial museum. Fun fact though, it was built in 1810 and turned into a gift shop in 2007. So yeah, Barbie core meets Revolutionary War. Only in Jersey though. Now we'll see some more pink indulged homes a little later, but this next home is just Shreks Swamp gentrified. Over in Culver City, California, there's a 10-bedroom, 9-bathroom home that looks like what would happen if Shrek cashed out on crypto and bought a place in the suburbs. He even upgraded to a 4-car garage because even ogres need storage for their Teslas. Step inside and yeah, no surprises. It's all wood. Carved wood, twisted wood, all kinds of wood. There's even a bar and a green-tiled bathroom and hold on, what is that in the sink? Looks like they brought some of the swamp water with them. That's gross. Ironically, the most normal room in this whole house is this random all-white bedroom. No moss, no mysterious liquids, just peace. And yes, the outside even has its own swamp area. Very on brand. What makes this place hilarious is that it's surrounded by total normal houses, like you're pulling up to Shrek's place right next to a Starbucks. If you've always dreamed of living in a storybook fever dream, it'll only cost you $1.9 million. Since we're on the topic of Shrek, this next home would be his dream home because in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and yes, I had to double check, that's a real place, brings you what I call the Onion House. The home was built in 1977, and instead of walls and a roof, you get 8 massive copper domes fused together. From above, it looks like someone tried to build a spaceship out of soup bowls, but once you step inside, things get surprisingly average. Stone walls, a spiral staircase, some hotel-style lighting, and one very proud zebra print recliner holding down the corner. It's not bad, but the inside feels like it totally forgot how weird the outside was trying to be. But still, if you've ever dreamed of living inside a copper mushroom village in a place called Kalamazoo, well, just like the house before, it's on the market for $1.9 million. Now, we just looked at a home made of copper domes, but now we're heading into something that looks like it was sculpted out of whipped cream. This is New Fairfield, Connecticut, and for $1.4 million, you get a home that feels more like a set piece for Star Wars than a house. The exterior is rounded, bright white, and soft looking, but walk inside and it's like the textures all started fighting. The walls are rough, the ceiling's curved like a cave, and the kitchen is fully wrapped in what looks like polished granite tree bark. It's earthy, shiny, and confusing all at once. But then you get to the bedrooms and bathrooms and and they're weirdly normal. Basic floors, light yellow walls, a window, and that's pretty much it. It's like the house couldn't decide if it wanted to be a sculpture or a suburban rental, almost like a fairy tale. But speaking about fairy tales, this next house really covers that, because in Prescott, Arizona for $795,000, you get a 3-bed, 2-bath home that looks like a medieval fair met a craft store explosion. The garage has green barn doors with red trim, but next to it is a cottage, a glass dining hall, and a full gypsy wagon, with wheels, tassels, and a full bed inside. The outside is packed with carvings, paint, and ornaments, but the inside doesn't slow down either. There's an antique kitchen, a chandelier over the dining table, and a giant wooden fish mounted on a bright blue wall because of course there is. It's definitely weird, but if you've ever wanted to live in a handmade fantasy village, Prescott's got you covered. But if you prefer a weird natural house, this next one is for you, because I found this house in Alpine, California, and at first glance, I genuinely wasn't sure if this was a home or a giant sculpture. It looks like a mix between a Smurf's house or something out of The Hobbit, and you'd think the inside might tone things down a bit, but it only gets weirder once you walk through the door. The ceilings curve and stretch like they were shaped by hand, and the fireplace is just made out of uneven brick. The kitchen keeps the same vibe though, no straight lines, no modern gloss, just thick wooden cabinets, oddly shaped drawers, and a stained glass window. It's all clearly custom work, every inch has a strange personal touch to it, but it never feels chaotic, just offbeat. Even the outside has this overgrown, untouched feeling, like the house grew out of the ground and just stayed there. It's weird, no doubt about it, but it's also strangely peaceful, like someone turned a fairy tale into architecture. Now, we've seen some houses that look like fairy tales, Barbie houses, and even horror shows, but this next one is a full-blown water tower. In Surfside, California, you could own this 4-bed, 4-bath converted tower for a cool $5.5 million, making it the most expensive home on this list. Built in 1984, this thing literally towers over the block. You don't walk into it, you ascend. And as you climb the staircase, there's a full fish tank built into the wall because why not have an aquarium guiding your way? The inside has a rustic, nautical vibe, wood paneling, metal railings, and a spiraling staircase, but then you hit the bathroom and it's like stepping into a mirrored kaleidoscope. Every wall, every corner, just reflections on reflections, and it's like the toilet is just staring back at you. Then there's the kitchen, which completely changes the mood with bright red cabinets and black appliances. Bold choice, especially in a house that otherwise feels like a pirate bar, but still, the top floor steals the show. Massive windows gives you a full panoramic ocean view, and weird, yeah, for sure, but if you've ever wanted to live inside a converted water tower with a fish tank staircase and a fun house bathroom, Surfside's got you covered. The next house is located in Hamilton, New Jersey, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, listed for $500,000, and it is relentlessly pink. From the outside, you might just think it's a quirky little cottage with a couple of flamingos and a dusty roof, but the moment you step inside, it's like Lisa, Frank, and Barbie got together and said, what if we designed a house on sugar crack? The entryway hits you with flower power right away. Literal daisy pillows, roller skate art, and a command to kick off your shoes before entering the pastel dimension. Walk into the dining room and suddenly you're having breakfast inside a Care Bear's dream sequence. The walls are wrapped in bright pink and yellow floral wallpaper with bubblegum pink ceilings and cotton candy curtains. The kitchen, yeah, it's serious. Lavender countertops, pale pink cabinets, heart-shaped accessories, and what looks like a permanent cupcake station. There's even a little alien peeking from the corner, probably wondering how it ended up there. Meanwhile, a nearby wall boldly proclaims, I get everything I want. At least the house is self-aware. And it just keeps going. The living room looks like a retro pop culture museum exploded. Vintage posters, flower-shaped pillows, and a pink velvet couch that wraps around you like a hug from Strawberry Shortcake herself. The bathroom, even pinker. Somehow. The bedroom is fully committed. Pink ceiling, daisy rugs, and a floral bedding that will make you question your allegiance to neutral tones. And then you get to the closet. It's not just a closet, it's a full runway. We're talking mannequins, dresses, accessories, and enough wigs and bows to supply a traveling Broadway troupe. But just when you think it can't get any more surreal, you hit the movie theater and oddly enough, it's the most normal room in this entire house. Blue walls, black recliners, and just posters of movies. You almost forget you're still in a pink palace. This house honestly isn't just a place to live, it's a lifestyle, a statement, just a color fever dream. But if you're not afraid of commitment or color, it could be yours for about $500,000. Now that we tiptoed through a garden of bubblegum and daisies, let's see a home that tones it down a bit. Kind of. Staying on the pink home trend is this lavish 1-bed, 1-bath home in Bradenton, Florida for just $187,000. Outside, it's all bubblegum pink and retro charm. Step inside and you get this green kitchen cabinets, palm print wallpaper, pink checkerboard chairs, and a rainbow of rugs and pillows that feel one Hobby Lobby sale away from chaos. Even the bathroom is in on the fun with a floral colored curtain and green wall paint that looks like someone let a kid choose the palette and just kind of went with it. It's unapologetically colorful, weirdly coordinated, and somehow is still kind of adorable. But let's step away from the pink for a second because this next house took a very different route and ended up in the middle of a Dr. Seuss book. If a Play-Doh container and a geometry quiz had a baby, it would probably look like this. Welcome to Santa Monica, California, where apparently even houses are allowed to have a midlife identity crisis. Designed by architect Eric Owen Moss, this 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom home looks like it's permanently leaning into an awkward conversation. It's 1,900 square feet of curves, angles, and confusion, like someone asked an AI to design a normal house and then unplugged it halfway through. From the outside, it gives strong alien government building vibes. The windows are placed like the house is trying to wink at you from like multiple directions, and the front looks like it's wearing a turtleneck way too tight for its own good. But step inside and surprise, it's actually pretty peaceful. The interior is clean, minimal, and bathed in natural light. You've got polished concrete floors, a sleek kitchen, and just enough quirk to remind you you're still inside of a math problem. And I will admit, the central staircase with the giant vertical glass wall, kind of fire. But just as you're starting to relax, you find the TV room, which looks like a mini skate park, got carpet bombed with beanbags. It's got curved floors that basically scream you will spill your drink here, and yes, the TV drops from the ceiling, because why wouldn't it? The bedroom, not bad, feels like a modern art museum sleepover room, and the kitchen table looks like it came out of Tony Hawk's woodshop class. This home is definitely a statement piece. It's bold, it's bizarre, it's weirdly kind of brilliant, but now for the catch. It's a rental. And if you want to live in this lime popsicle of a space, it'll cost you $24,500 per month. Yeah, for that price, the house better curve space and time too. Alright, this next one feels like a cotton candy daydream that got hit by a zoning permit. Sitting in Pass Christian, Mississippi is honestly this Florida-styled home for only $790,000, and it's about 2,900 square feet of just bubblegum pink confusion, at least from the outside. The scalloped roofline looks like a stack of Pringles melted in the sun, and those lime green doors, bold choice for a house that already looks like it came out of a Fisher-Price catalog. Inside, you're hit with an explosion of clashing colors. Neon green cabinets, bright blue couches, yellow bedrooms. It's like someone dared a box of Crayola crayons to design a beach rental. And despite all that visual noise, the layout somehow manages to feel plain. Big pool out back though, so at least you could drown your design regrets in peace. But that's all really to the home. Now, those homes were pretty weird, but this video shows the most luxurious properties in California.